Ugh. All right, here we go. So, first of all, for all you that have been sticking around for a while, thank you so much for what you do for the channel. We've been over 1,000 subscribers now for a little while, so I really appreciate that. Please keep watching, liking, sharing, doing all that stuff. If you're new here and you like this kind of stuff, please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Really helps out with what we're trying to do here on the channel. But what you're all really here for. So the last 9 or 10 shorts, I actually don't remember at this point now, I can't keep count. We've had goodbye to travel baseball videos pop up. So what you all want to know is, why are we leaving travel baseball? So, in case you don't know what travel baseball is, let me just give you kind of the short and sweet version of baseball, youth baseball as I know it, right? So you have like rec ball, little league, travel baseball. So rec ball is kind of a privatized, everybody that signs up gets assigned to a team. Usually it's a dad coaching that team, and then they play other teams from that organization. Little League is usually a city or county or municipality, whatever it is that you live in, sponsored event. Everybody that signs up gets assigned to a team, and usually it's a dad coaching that. And what they'll do is they play other teams in that league, but then most of the time what you see as far as like the Little League World Series is they will pick like the best kids from that team or from that organization, and they'll make a city team, which will play other city teams, and then they'll do like districts, regionals, etc., until you get to the state, and the states will play each other until you get to like the southeast, and then that's where you see the Little League World Series. All that is Little League and rec ball. Travel baseball is there's different organizations, and they'll have tryouts, and you'll take your kid, you'll do a tryout, and not every kid that tries out makes the team, but you'll go to a tryout, you do the tryouts, and then they'll call you and say, hey, yeah, we want you on the team, or you'll get a call saying, hey, sorry, we're gonna pick somebody else, or maybe you won't get a call back at all. But that's kind of the general breakdown of rec league, little league, and travel baseball, right? And that is all outside of school ball. So school ball, you'll have like middle school baseball, high school baseball, college baseball, etc. Travel baseball, we usually go up to 18 years old, and then after that, it's kind of no more, you're in college typically. So, my son started playing rec ball when he was 4. Unfortunately, because of circumstances outside of my control, I ended up being one of the coaches on his team. But from 4 to 6, he played rec ball. At 6 years old, we were approached by a couple of people about maybe playing travel baseball. And we tried out for a travel baseball team. And what the coach said, I'm not going to name any organizations on here. I don't want to, like, there's some good organizations, and then there's some not so great organizations out there. Pretty much every organization that we played for, we played for 4 different organizations, really. I know if you watched the shorts, you saw some different jerseys on Showtime, but one of those organizations was the same people. They just kind of changed names and went in a different direction. So I'm not going to name anybody. Everybody has kind of their positives and negatives. But when Pierce was 6 was the first time that he tried out for a travel baseball team. And it was kind of like 4 dads that kind of were not liking the way things were going that they were seeing, so they kind of made their own team. And the main coach, the night that Pierce tried out, told me that, hey, we coach by committee, is basically what he said. There's 4 dads, and those 4 dads had kids on the team, and a lot of times that's like what we would call daddy ball, right? But the 4 kids that belonged to those 4 dads, they were really good baseball players, they were really good kids, and they really deserved a spot on the team anywhere that they wanted to play. So it wasn't one of those daddy ball situations where the kid wasn't that great, but he played wherever he wanted to anyways. So it was fantastic. We had a fantastic time playing on that team for that organization. Fast forward a little bit, we left that organization simply because of my work schedule and the travel time it took to get to and from the practice locations, really. So we went to a different organization. The second organization that we went to, it had a lot of positives to it, but it just wasn't a fit for us, right? So we went to a third organization. I guess technically, I guess 4 total, just back and forth, right? So we went to a third organization, and it was the definition of mismanaged, right? So we spent like half a season with them and bounced. Went back to our original organization because it was still being ran fantastic. The dads that were involved, the coaches that were involved, they truly cared about the children. They cared about the development of the kids, and you could tell by the time, the effort, and the money that they put in out of pocket towards this situation for the kids that it was the place to be. Ultimately, we left that place because it was really a money thing for me, right? We were doing week-long tournaments out of state and trying to get off of work, and the money that it takes for hotels and stuff, it wasn't something that I was able to do anymore. So we left that organization, and we planned on quitting travel baseball altogether then. However, we ended up playing one more season for a different organization, and that organization, again, had a lot of positives, but for us personally, it just didn't work out, right? We started, Showtime started way up here on the confidence level and skill level and everything else. Like, the organization that we left from had him at a level where he was competing at a high level, and then by the time the last of that rolled around, Showtime just wasn't competing at a very high level, and it was all about the confidence, the coaching, and the development, right? Pretty much every travel baseball organization will tell you at the youth level, it's all about the development of the kids. But then when you go and you look at them, you really have to pay attention to what's going on, right? Do we truly have development happening, or do we just have kids kind of rotating through stations and going through the motions and not really learning anything? And that's kind of what happened at the last organization that we were with, as far as the coaching staff. But again, it's nothing against the coaching staff. It's definitely nothing against the organization. It just wasn't a fit for us. With that last organization, if you really wanted any development, you had to pay the coaches extra money outside of the practice time to get the development. So it's like practice time was just kind of checking a box. If you wanted to truly have any development take place, you had to pay extra money outside of practice to the same coaches that were supposed to be developing your children at practice. So that just didn't sit well with me. But all that aside, the main reason that we're quitting travel baseball is because development, right? If it's supposed to be all about the development, and travel baseball, you pay a travel baseball team fee. That fee is supposed to take care of your travel baseball, like tournament fees, typically. Then you have a uniform fee, and then there's gate fees for every tournament that you go to. There's hotel fees if there's tournaments out of town. It's just a lot of money. So I feel like, logically speaking, I can take all that money that I was giving to a team for tournament fees, etc., and I can apply that to private lessons, whether that be private pitching lessons, private hitting lessons, private defensive lessons, and I can take all that money and I can apply that to true development, camps, clinics, private lessons, etc. All that money that we would have been spending on private baseball or on travel baseball, I can now apply to private lessons. And I just think it's a smarter decision when it comes to development and the use of funds, right? And he's still going to be playing school baseball. So last year, middle school baseball, moving into high school baseball, with the hopes of playing college baseball. Well, if you're going to play college baseball in these days, you have to be working harder than everybody else. You have to want it more than anybody else. And you have to be, basically, as a freshman, better than a senior. If you're going to make a high school team. If you're going to, not necessarily better than a senior, right? But you have to be better than most. And then if you're a high school senior and you want to play college ball, especially if you want to play like a D1 level with the portal that's going on now. So let's say you're a college baseball team and you're looking to pick up 2 or 3 more players. The first place you're going to look is the transfer portal, right? So if you're a high schooler, a senior in high school, and you want to play college ball, you already have to be better than somebody who's already in college playing college baseball, because college baseball teams are going to pick up players from the transfer portal first. That just makes sense. So if you're going to have that type of skill and you're going to be developed that much, unless you have your own private place, like I don't have a place here at home where we can go out and work. I don't have the skill set. I didn't grow up playing baseball. So I have to pay somebody. I have to pay somebody to work with him to develop these skills past where he's at moving forward. So I just figure that's the best use of funds, is to pay somebody to work one-on-one with him, and then hopefully, and there's always teams in the summertime especially looking to pick kids up for tournaments, right? So a lot of people are going to say, oh man, you're not going to get those game reps. Game reps are way different. I understand. I get it. Game reps against live pitching in a game, that is different. But there's always somebody. There's always a team looking to pick up a player, needing somebody. Other families are out, whatever the case may be. Kids are hurt, whatever the case may be. There's always somebody looking to pick up a player. So my plan moving forward is to take all the money that we would have spent for travel baseball, apply that towards private one-on-one lessons geared truly toward development of skills, and then maybe do a couple of pickup tournaments with some teams in the summertime, and maybe even do some showcases, right? There's like the USSSA games, there's like a PG Prospects, there's PBR Prospects games, there's all these things that you can go to. There's Team USA tryouts that you can go to. There's all these things that you can do outside of a typical travel baseball schedule. So that's really it. We're going to take the money that we were spending on travel baseball. We're going to apply it to private one-on-one lessons geared truly toward development. We're going to focus solely on development and school ball. And that's the reason. Like, there's really no negative thing towards any individual or organization as to why we're leaving travel baseball. I just think, logically speaking, when you're talking about an ROI situation, return on investment situation, I think it's going to be better if we take that money that we were spending for travel baseball, apply it towards personalized individual development, and focus on school ball and college ball moving forward. And that's really it. You know, I'm sure a lot of you were hoping that I'd get on here and bash somebody or bash an organization that we were with and saying, oh man, they suck, that's why we were leaving travel baseball. But that's not it. I mean, at the end of the day, every organization, every coach, at the end of the day, most of these coaches, they're dads, they're volunteering their time, they're trying to do what's best for people. But some dads have a pretty high IQ when it comes to baseball, like the first organization that we were with, and some dads don't have a high IQ level of baseball. And that's just how it is. I mean, that's just people in general, right? Some people think they know what's best and it's not best, but at the end of the day, we're just going to take that money, we're going to try to use it in a smarter manner, and hopefully get some true development out of it. And that's it. That's the main reason why we're leaving travel baseball. So nothing real negative, nothing real bad. Sorry if that's what you came for, but that's why we're leaving travel baseball. It's kind of a think outside the box situation for us, and hopefully it works out. At the end of the day, we're going to film it. We're going to put it on YouTube. You get to keep up with it, so hit that like and subscribe button, and keep up with us. See if this outside the box thinking works out for us, and if it does, maybe you can do it too. But outside of that, it's cold. We got a nice fire here. It's not a bad life if it's a dad life. Let's go.